Hello guys, welcome back to our channel and welcome to the part 2 of our Cancun vlog. If you remember from our last video, we took you around some of the best and unique spots near Cancun, including the ancient ruins of Tulum, snorkeling with the marine life and green sea turtles of the Acumil Bay, and diving deep inside the dark caves water-filled cenotes. After having embarked on such an interesting and fun-filled adventure on day 1, we were excited to explore more of this amazing country. And this trip to Cancun won't be complete without a visit to one of the most beautiful archaeological sites, which also happens to be a wonder of the world, Chichen Itza. Unlike on our day 1, where we were part of a group tour, we wanted to have our Chichen Itza experience more memorable and unique through a private tour experience. After having picked up early in the morning from our hotel and about 2 to 3 hours drive, we were finally at this crowded and popular site. And immediately as we were in, our tour guide Mario was ready to share his wealth of knowledge with us.
City. It's going to be Chichen Itza. It's not Chichen Itza, it's not chicken pizza, Chichen Itza. And Chichen Itza, it actually has a meaning. It's from 3 Mayan words. First, Chi. Chi means mouth. Then Chen. Chen means well because of the cenotes. And the last one, Itza, this one right here, that is actually going to come from this word right here, Itzaes. These people here, they didn't call themselves Mayas. They call themselves Itzaes. And Itzaes means water sorcerers or water enchanters.
And just like that, we were totally immersed into the history of this place, and it almost felt like we were walking amongst the mines.
This section right here, which is going to be the old ceremonial center, and this one right here, which is going to be the new ceremonial center. Old Chichen, new Chichen.
Chichen Itza is believed to be the most populous and most diverse places in the history of the Mayan civilization. And it is this diversity that has contributed to a variety of archaeological sites and structures that we currently see at this place. What we learned from our tour guide were that these structures with a stepwise design were either a palace for the rich and the elite, or it was a sacred or a holy site. And to our amaze, Mayans were also great at astronomy, and some of these buildings here, like the El Caracol, is theorized to have been a proto-observatory with doors and windows aligned to the astronomical events. And astonishingly, most of their architectural design comprised of a very detailed carving on the outside, representing either a sacred animal's head or an elite figure in their ancient history. Also, what was exciting to have learned is that the Mayans were very diligent on how they constructed their palaces. In this video, you can see evidences of pillars which was considered as a base for a 3-story structure, and each of these rock pillars weighed about a ton. And it's not hard to imagine the level of strength the Mayans had in order to have carried and assembled all these bulky rocks in just one place. And as we were wandering around the different regions of this archaeological site, we noticed a flurry of vendor carts all around, which were mostly set up by the locals and were trying to sell souvenirs to the visitors. And if you're like us who love haggling, this is the place for you, as you might end up getting a really good price on some of these unique gifts. And after about 2 hours of going around the site, we finally arrived at the main hub of the attraction, the Kukulcan, which is this ginormous structure in the middle of a vast land. And Sonia and I could tell that this is a wonder to be amazed by.
This one is a temple. A temple dedicated to who? Look at the bottom of the staircase. You're gonna find 2 big snake heads. Kukulcan, the temple of Kukulcan. This construction from the bottom all the way into the top, 98 feet tall. We're gonna see evidences of another structure underneath the other 2.
That's right, this temple is much more bigger than what you see from your eyes on the outside. There is said to be a cenote at the bottom of this temple where sacrifices were made. And from what we little know, the design of this temple is such that during equinoxes, the reflection of this temple forms a unique pattern on the ground which almost resembles like that of a snake. Next, we head to the game arena.
It's going to be known as Pok Tapok.
You heard that right. This funny sounding game was in fact quite intense and required a lot of strength and power. And what is more interesting is that the leader of the winning team would then be sacrificed at the end of the game. During the later part of the tour, we spent time just taking photos near the Kukulcan and trying to shop for souvenirs. This place was obviously crowded, but having a private tour really helped us get through the crowd while giving us the sense of comfort that we needed. We then drove to our next destination, which was another cenote. This was the popular Ik Kil cenote, and it was magnificent. Unlike the last cenote we visited, which was under a cave, this cenote was exposed to open air and had branches and leaves from the surrounding trees hanging from the top, like a woman's braided hair. And most importantly, this cenote is open for public swimming, and so you see a flock of visitors down in the water. The water level here is about 26 meters below the ground level. There is a carved stairway that leads down to a swimming platform. Soon after visiting the cenote, we head out to the nearby town of Valladolid. And since it was already close to lunch, we decided to explore this friendly vegan restaurant, courtesy of the tour guide. And hands down, this was one of the best vegan Mexican places that we've ever visited. I mean, their tacos and their tortillas were just yum. And yes, we had cold drinks because we were no longer in Portland and were loving the hot weather. Post lunch, we head out to explore this amazing and historical city. The first place our tour guide dropped us was this Valladolid sign. I mean, there was nothing historic about it except for the fact that it was right next to a Spanish convent and the fact that the sign itself was very colorful. So we took a couple of photos of us in front of the sign, learned a little bit of history of this place and walked around for a bit. Soon thereafter, we left for our final destination of the day, but not without stopping for a quick sip of the coconut water. It was heavenly, and the fact that the Mexicans eat the coconut flesh with chili and lime was mind-blowing. The next cenote, named Chukum, was located roughly 30 minutes east of Valladolid. It was relatively smaller compared to the Ik Kil or the Xtun cenote that we've seen before, but it was equally beautiful. The good part about this cenote was that it was a lot less crowded. It had that similar cave-like structures that we'd seen before at Xtun cenote, and also the water was extremely clear. For someone who wanted to swim, this was an ideal location. And there was also a short zip line running from one end of the cenote to the other. We went down to the caves, walked around the cenote for a bit, and just admired this place for its beauty. Because of a very small opening of the cenote, it was a little dark in here. By the time we reached at our hotel, it was late in the evening and we were exhausted from a long day's trip. But we can say one thing for sure, that a private tour guide was the best decision we could have made. Mario specifically was an amazing chap who was well versed, showed us around and took care of us during this entire trip. And just like that, it was the end of our trip, but not without one final stop at the flea market. We took a short bus ride from our hotel and landed at this place, which was filled with gifts and souvenirs to take back home. Since our flight back to Portland was later in the afternoon, we'd spend quite a bit of time shopping around, having delicious lunch in the nearby restaurants on the hotel zone, and just enjoying the warmth of the weather and the people of this beautiful country and city. So guys, that was the end of our Cancun visit, which was short but sweet. And as Sonia and I look back at our memories, we only regret not having spent a few more days in this amazing and historical place. Hope you were able to draw out some of the ideas from our 2-day visit. And if you have doubts or are skeptical about visiting Mexico for whatever reason, then don't be. This place is epitome of beauty and it is filled with warm and lively people. The only thing you can regret after coming here is not having spent enough time. Hope you liked our video. If you did, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and we will meet you back on our channel with more entertaining and fun-filled content. See you back in the next video.